Hello and welcome to the Curious Chords podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Kid A, the album by Radiohead, released in October 2nd of 2000, the year 2000. We're also going to dive into the history behind rock and the changes that happened over time to allow Radiohead to produce such an amazing album. We will go in deeper with that soon. All right, to begin, the beginning of rock started in 1956. And the latest progression has been, well, I guess it's still progressing, but we've had noticeable changes since 1991. So starting in 1956, we have Sister Rosetta Tharpe in her album The Gospel Train. This album blended gospel with electric guitar, which basically invented the sound that rock would be built on. She was like the first artist or so to use the electric guitar in her playing. And Elvis Presley, also from the year 1956, his cover of some popular songs would boost rock into more mainstream culture, especially the song Hound Dog he played. That was a cover of, I believe it was William A. Thornton's song, I think. Her original song Hound Dog was covered by Elvis Presley, and he just basically popularized the rock genre. Little Richard, he was known for his loud and fast, rebellious playing. This would give rock its energetic aspect. You'd see it in a lot of his songs. Also, his rebelliousness was about his identity and how he felt. So that lyric sort of thing that you can get with these newer rock songs, like poetry, I guess, sort of, and just like putting yourself out there through music, that came from Little Richard here. Bob Dylan, he brings in some poetic lyrics as well as social commentary into rock music. William A. Thornton in 1966, she produced powerful blues records that show rock's roots in raw vocal expression and rhythm and blues. So we have the 12-bar blues that we learned about. The Beatles in 1967, they redefined what an album could be. They did some more studio production. They were very experimental. We have, looping and recording from live sessions, and they're just very experimental and really broadened the horizon of what rock could be. Jimi Hendrix, he's amazing, one of the best guitar players of all time, really expanded what rock could be with all his effects, his funk, improvisation, and blending rock. And he was really good for expanding how we see rock now. Funkadelic and their album Maggot Brain, they merged rock and funk into something psychedelic and also boundary pushing. That's what you'll see typically with a lot of these albums and previous rock artists. They are pushing the boundaries of what rock can be. Led Zeppelin in his fourth album, this defined the difference between hard rock and heavy metal with this powerful riffs and epic sound. Queen and A Night at the Opera combined rock with opera theatrics and also studio innovation, especially the song Bohemian Rhapsody. You can hear a lot of different classical instruments, opera singing, stuff like that. It's like a ballad. It's a long song too. Patti Smith, she was laying the groundwork for punk and raw poetry. Talking Heads blended rock with funk as well, just like Jimi Hendrix. Talked more about world music and art school experimentation. Prince, oh yes, Prince. He grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He was from Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is where I'm from. He fused rock, pop, and funk into a genre-defining mainstream sound, again breaking the boundaries of what rock can be. Pop was very popular, no pun intended, and combining those three things made him go big. Living Colour and their album Vivid brought funk, metal, and political themes into late rock. Political themes might have inspired Green Day or something like that. Green Day was also a bit of a punk rock type thing, for sure, and also definitely political. Nirvana and their album Nevermind launched grunge into the scene. From Seattle, like much other grunge, defined rock for a new generation. That generation was my mom's generation. she would only listen to, grunge and stuff like that growing up. All right, now here we got to talk about Tom York and his relevance to the Kid A album. So coming away from the massive success that OK Computer was, Tom was starting to feel burnt out from the weight of fame and just general burnout that he went through after massive success, and working on an album took a while. So he felt pressured into making new music, but he didn't really want to listen to the people that were forcing him to do the basic stuff. He didn't really care about following the music making guidelines that had become so popular. By that I mean staying in key, following scales, and using crazy guitar hooks. He didn't really care about any of that. So he decided to make music that represented himself. So we see his internalized tension and stress show up in this album, especially through the first track on the album. Oh, sorry. Before that, we must cover what the scholars say. The scholars, they say that Kid A album completely obliterates how albums and Radiohead themselves should be considered. They think Kid A was definitely more of an experimental album, and that was definitely helping Radiohead, become what they are. They said it represents a band losing faith in themselves and rebuilding their identity through experimentation. I wouldn't say that Radiohead lost their identity, but experimenting was definitely a way for them to find out what worked for them specifically. And you can definitely see that with the main song of today, which is Everything in Its Right Place. It's the first song on Kid A. So what the scholar said is pretty much spot on with what the first track on Kid A represents. Everything in Its Right Place is a song that follows almost none of the traditional norms of songwriting. It's very unique with how it sounds. It feels very odd. You get strange emotions from it. Not really if you listen to it for the first time, you won't really think it's like rock, but in a way it is, you'll see. The long history and development of rock music allowed Radiohead to be so flexible with their music. We've covered a vast majority of different artists. Each one of them have been pushing the boundaries of what rock can be. Radiohead is doing the exact same. Here we go. We're going to demonstrate. I want to show you the song.
Clinically proven antioxidants to support a long, healthy life. Hills, science does more.
Sometimes I just want what I want right now, you know?
Okay, we need to make sure you can hear this. Oh, wait, first, wait. I'm real quickly going to show you. So Everything in Its Right Place, it's a very spooky and unsettling sound. You'll hear that in a minute. But surprisingly, the song's only comprised of major chords. Let me grab my guitar. Here we have Ibanez 7-string. Don't exactly know which model. And we will show you the different chords. All right. Okay, so first let me tune my guitar here. It's drop D. All right, so the first chord we got, we got F major. Pretty simple one that we all know. If I can show it here on the thing. Hit a bar chord, put in one of these. My action's very high. Sorry, folks. This might not sound the cleanest, but that was a minor, sorry. Wait, where is... Is it not this? There we go. That's an F major. C major. We all know that one as well. Very common chord. Next one. This one's kind of weird. D flat 7, sharp 11. Also major. Start on the 3rd fret. We're gonna bar it. Play this. And then go way out. Ooh, this is tough. Okay, I don't really know how anyone expects to play this, but oh my gosh. Maybe? I don't know if I'm doing it right. It's also a major chord though. These are better played on the piano, but I don't know how to play piano. E flat 6. We go down to the D string. So that would be 2 frets over. Is E, our root. Go here. And maybe actually bar this even. And just hit bottom and that one. And this should be an E flat 6 major. Might not be the same octave, but an E flat 6 nonetheless. All right, let me now show you the song. You will love it. If you know anything about Radiohead, you know that their music, they don't play around with their experimentation and stuff like that. Oh, here, before we go into that, I want to show you my sources. Here you go. I am legit. Let's close. Zoom is not working for me. Let's end the share. Share this one. Share sound. Okay. Here we go. Listen for the chords in the very beginning. Just listen to what you feel. Again, these are all major chords. Listen. Sorry about that. You can break them down simpler into F, C, D flat, and E flat if you need. But yeah, that's the song. It doesn't really sound like rock. So it's like just an atmospheric, experimental noise, very electronic. Definitely doesn't follow what rock typically is. You don't hear Nirvana blasting out that whatever electronic 808 sound. You don't hear that. So yeah, Radiohead. They're a good band. Maybe we can show more chords. There's like major chords. That whispering goes throughout the whole song. I don't know what his inspiration was with that, but it doesn't really matter because this is all about Tom York and how he feels regarding his music. Maybe the whispers were like the people in the back of his head telling him, make more music, stick to the guidelines or something like that. Like, just telling him to do what everyone else is doing. But no, Tom York is not going to do that. He's going to make his own music and he's going to kill at it. He's going to be good. I don't know how to stop sharing. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. Next time we'll cover Tool, maybe. Tool. Y'all like Tool? Go listen to some Tool.